picture, this guy would be sitting in here with the rest of us. Now, please don't be intimidated by this picture because it's Tiger Woods when he was 25 years old, winning all the big tournaments all the time. Remember?
Could be in next week.
Before those women ruined him.
Yeah.
You know they did. They ganged up on him, 9 against 1. Then she hit him with a club.
Yeah.
Put him in rehab. Coach, you action. Don't be intimidated by this. I used to have a picture. Remember Byron Nelson? Remember him?
Yeah.
I used to have a picture of Nelson at the age of 75. And on purpose, and somebody took it from my class. When we get done today, can you not take my stuff, please? I had the picture of Nelson at the age of 75, and I would put it next to this picture of Tiger Woods when he's 25. And guess what you saw? Same thing. The only difference is when we're 75, still playing great, probably we don't have the same speed in the hips and thighs that we all once had when we were 20. So this guy is going to hit the ball 325 yards off the tee. Poor Byron Nelson at the age of 75 was struggling. His ball was 75 yards behind him. He could only hit it 250. Poor fella. Down the middle. Fast muscles slow, slow muscles fast. What are we doing in this exercise, everybody? What are we doing to what muscles? Slowing down fast muscles first before we pick up the club to practice. If we're on the ball, we just, can you hold it for a minute? We just identified priorities in training. In our task, your task, to become a leg player, making the lower body move quickly is a priority. The higher priority is to slow the upper. Is everybody clear on that one? Okay, somewhere about 1930, you've heard of Bobby Jones, right? And then Sam Snead told us the same thing. Then Jack Nicklaus telling us the same thing. Why aren't we doing it? Well, we're going to do it today. Way back, Bobby Jones was the first one to let the cat out of the bag. He said, hey, if you want to play golf and you want to play well, every time we grip a club and swing a club, we must hold the club and swing the club as if we're holding a what? A little baby bird. The baby bird. That's nice. Did he instruct us to kill the bird? What would happen if millions of golfers had a little baby bird in their hand? What happened? But yeah, by the time the little bird is belt high in the backswing, it's over. Never mind the violence of the downswing. Hold the club soft like the baby bird. Now, you know what they never shared with me when I struggled? Was how to do it. You know, when a student is trying to learn a foreign language, mathematics, shoot a rifle, play hopscotch, play the piano, swing a golf club, if the student is not receiving the how-to and the why of it all, I have to say good luck to you. Now, coming here today, how many of us were wondering, why did I bring a 7-iron into this place? Who was wondering? Yeah, because where am I going to hit balls? No, we're going to do something with the club right now. Do I need to watch you hit a golf ball at this moment? No. Do you know why? I already know what you're doing. You're getting acquainted with me today. I know you like the back of my hand. When we finish here today, I am going to invite you to come back here next week. Over the years, I have videoed more than 60,000 recreational golfers. So I've graded more than 60,000 quizzes. You with me? You're all the same. Did you know this? Did you know you're all clones? Did you know you're in different bodies with the same stuff in here? Just like Byron Nelson and Tiger Woods were 50 years different in age, they were in different bodies and had the same stuff in here. I had you bring your golf club today for this one reason. We're going to do this exercise twice. That's it. We're going to get the tension out, and then you're going to get your golf club and grip it. And for the first time, you're going to know and feel what it is like to hold the baby bird and let it live. You're going to feel what Freddie Couples feels in just a moment. Have your club close by you so you don't have to look for it. Okay, roll the shoulders to the rear, please. Keep the shoulders pushed back. That's right. Stand tall. Now let's take it up. Keep the wrists soft. Keep the fingers soft. Ready? Fall. We're removing all tension out of the upper back, neck, and shoulders quickly. The crud we carry here on the golf course. And I'm going to ask you right now, could you do this exercise at your golf course if you cared to? What do you say?
Sure.
Huh?
Yes.
What?
Yes, sir.
Are you gonna stand on the first tee and do that in Boston? You'll get locked up. We do this at home. Let's go one more time, a little slower. Slow it down, soften the fingers and wrists. Ready, fall. Get your club now and grip it. Pretend like you're getting ready to hit one. How does the club now feel in your hand after you've done the exercise? How does the club feel in your hand?
Heavy,
now?
feels heavy.
The hands are soft, the bird lives, the tension's gone. If we don't feel that nice, soft feeling, every time we chip, pitch, putt, or drive the ball, we will feel something else. If we feel something else, we are learning something else. Everybody got that? This is exactly what Jack Nicklaus wrote in his book was critical. He writes in his book at the top of the backswing, when I play my best, it feels as though you could pull the club right out of my hands. How long do we practice? Who remembers? 15 minutes or less. If you do 5 minutes, you're good. Short sessions, lots of them. We're in practice, we're at home. 3 minutes go by, we're doing the homework. And we're doing great. And then all of a sudden we make a mistake. We feel these upper body right side muscles jumping in there. It's gonna happen. My question for you, should we keep swinging the club or should we stop?
Stop.
Put the club down, do the exercise, then proceed. Otherwise, we're damaging ourselves, okay? That's all. It is better to do nothing than damage. I don't know when we played golf last, but probably you're on the back nine, coming down the stretch, 16th hole, the pressure is mounting, there's a $1 bet right. The enemy's ball is on the green. You know who. And right in front of us is a lake. Is that how the club felt? He's up there already, I gotta get him. Is everybody familiar with Augusta, Georgia, where they play the big tournament every April? A while back, I was in Augusta doing some golf schools. The prior summer, it was in the month of May, the prior summer while I was up here in New England, I was down as part of my trip was in Connecticut. Trumbull, Connecticut is where Golf Digest is. And of course, they saw my little ad in the newspaper, you know, from the Connecticut Post. And they sent their spies in here to see what this guy's up to. We don't know him. He is not one of us. No, I'm not one. But 10 months later in Augusta, Georgia, I opened up a Golf Digest magazine, and this was staring back at me. They took my stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, they made a cartoon picture of Tom Watson doing this exercise. Now you watch Tom Watson on TV, right? You don't ever see him playing golf doing this, do you? No. That's mine. Called them up and said, "What are you doing?" They said, "Oh, we came to your golf thing when you were up here in Connecticut last year." I know, I remember you coming in, but hey, if you're gonna take my stuff, how about a little phone call? I don't mind if you use it. Might help somebody. Coming in here today, how many of us were at least a little bit skeptical? Come on. Yeah, we're getting acquainted, I get it. You might not want me helping you after today. I have to earn your trust, I guess, right? I have to earn it. Well, you know, I might not want you for a student either. How's that? Oh, I'll take you. I'm not fussy. I take all skill level players. If there's a certain type of golfer that I would care less about coaching the golf swing to, and that would be a golfer like Phil Mickelson. You know why I care less about coaching him the golf swing? He already knows how to do it. There's nothing to learn. If I'm an instructor of mathematics, I'm not, but if I'm a mathematics teacher, guess who I would not want for a student? Albert Einstein. He knows how to do it. The type of golfer I prefer to have the most for a student, this is the one in whom I cherish, and maybe you're here today. I want the downtrodden. I want last gasp. Because you know what this place is to the game of golf? This is the Salvation Army. This is where golfers crawl out of the brand new Mercedes-Benz when there's nowhere left to go. Could everybody relate to the beginning of this session here today about the madness of habits formed coupled with trial and error learning and stress? Did everybody just feel a nice softness in our grip pressure from that exercise? If you're not sure about this now, I will put it behind us, but I think you're certain I'm your last hope. That guy says he's my last pope, he doesn't flinch. Hey, somebody has to know how to coach it. Hey, somebody knows how to train a dog, you know, the one that's biting people, to make them stop. Somebody might know how to train an arm swinger to be a leg player if they could. I will never give you a golf lesson ever while you're hitting the ball. You won't get me to do that to you. You know why I would never do that to you? Because it's wrong to do that to you. 20,000 golf professionals give lessons to people while they hit the ball, right? Well, either they're right or I am. But I'm a United States Marine, and we know a little something about training. You know where we don't teach things to people? During execution. Do you know why? It's too late. Would anybody here try to learn to play a piano during the concert? It's too late. He's a nice guy, I believe. I don't know them. They do their thing, I do mine. They coach Phil Mickelson. I get you. His name's Hank Haney. You ever hear of him? Yeah. He was Tiger Woods' golf teacher for 2 years. And he was coined the #1 golf teacher in the world because he's teaching Einstein. And then they gave him the downtrodden. 5 days a week for a year, he gave one-on-one golf lessons to a basketball player named Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley still stinks. And after 10,000 hours of one-on-one golf instruction while hitting the ball at the golf course, guess which one of the two was confused? Hank Haney. Hank Haney couldn't understand what's wrong with the student. Nothing is wrong with the student. But the student cannot execute what's in the mind of a teacher. You with me? And this is not a computer, you know. We don't install, delete, and all. You with me? Everybody has a learning button. Okay. Can everybody see this angle right here created by the golf club in the arm? Okay, that's one of the angles. There's another angle that's in the right-hand wrist that's caught back. You see that angle? If you ever watch a waiter carry a tray, it's palm up, right? These two, if you're a lefty, it's the other side. These two angles are set at the top of the backswing. In the downswing, are we supposed to uncock the angles like so, or are we supposed to hold the angles? Which is it?
First one.
We're supposed to hold the angles.
Oh.
If the arms go first in the downswing before the lower body, can we hold the angles? Take a guess.
No.
It's impossible. Because if the fast muscles go first, guess what's going to get in the way? The slow ones. And the moment the right arm crashes into this right side over here that's not zipping through, you with me? As soon as that gets stopped, this is where the angles in the wrist break every time. I have videoed more than 60,000 of us doing that, and I used to do it too. Does anybody in this room today struggle with consistency? 3 years of trying my best, stick me on the golf course, here's what I couldn't do, hit the ball the same way twice in a row. How about that one? But if, you give me my swim trunks after 3 years, all 4 strokes, I got it. My ice hockey stick and the skates, I got it. Snow skis, I got it. 3 years with this thing, 110. We're going to study an image here for a minute. This is where we're headed. Come on in here, everybody. You'll notice he's holding the angles. This is how you know. The club head's not on the ground. You see the club is horizontal to the ground right now? This is good. This is what the good player does. The club head is not on the ground. Next time I see you when I videoed your swings, you're going to see when your hands are here, your club head's going to be on the ground or coming up on the other side. Now I'm going to ask you right now, can anybody see why he can do that with the club? Why can he delay the club from coming down? He's a leg player. He's a leg player. What must we become? A leg player. Let's do this, everybody. You've been standing for a while. Have a seat for a minute. This is for your understanding and knowledge, so you have an idea as to where you're going and why. Okay. We have an angle, and we have an angle. These two angles are set at the top of the backswing. Now you're doing that part kind of. When our hips and thighs go first in the downswing, but not just go first. Our hips have to be positioned correctly when we do the movement. Would you buy that one? In a most unusual posture, a posture that you have never been in before, but don't worry, you're gonna get there. So here's what we don't do, please. Let's not leave here today, play 9 holes this afternoon, and run out there and start swinging our hips all over. You know what my students don't ever do that you might fall in love with this idea? We don't get out on the golf course and try to force things. You with me? We rehearse things, and then they start to come to the golf course all by themselves. Is everything okay? When the hips and thighs go first in the downswing and remain pushed back in this unusual posture, not coming forward towards the ball, which is what you're doing now. When the hips stay pushed back, only now, and go first, can we hold the ankles. Nothing is in the way here. You with me? If the arms went first, where would this hip be right now? Where would this hip be if the arms went first? Be back over here. And you know where the hips would be at the address position when hitting it. Uh-oh. And as soon as the right arm crashes into this right side over here, this is where the angles break. Here's what we're supposed to do with the golf club. We're not supposed to be slinging the club face at the ball. What we're supposed to do is swing the butt of the club horizontally first, down an imaginary line. You with me? And we really, good players really don't hit the ball till the hands are getting in by the inside of the left thigh, the forward leg. And then the hands are going to roll over when? I'm showing you. When do the hands roll over? After we hit it. For 3 years, when I couldn't break 100, I was trying to figure out how I was supposed to snap my wrist at a golf ball. Couldn't break. Let me ask you something. Where will a golf ball go if we could hold the club face square down an imaginary line for as long as possible? Where's the ball going? On the line. There's an object to this sport, and it's not to hit the ball in the hole. The object of this sport is to swing all our golf clubs in fluid motion. That means we can't be thinking about it. Holding a club face squared on an imaginary line for as long as possible. This is the object of your game. Let's do this, everybody. Please stand up. When I share things with you, I will always show you pictures to leave you no doubt as to what you're supposed to be learning and will be learning. Can you hold that for a moment? I want you to notice really good golfers. Just notice, has the hands rolled over yet? And they've already hit the ball, huh? And what's the club face doing? You notice the club face? Still square, still straight. So where's the ball going to go? Pretty straight. Now, are they leg players? Have the hips turned pretty good?
Yeah.
Now it's going to go long and straight. Men, women, and seniors. Okay? Now, I'm going to point something out to you. Don't worry about doing it right now. Okay? But I just want to point something out to you because all the crazy golf instruction that was thrown at me, and it was probably thrown at you, and it was wrong. Okay? 4 plus 4 is 8, not 12. Right? I mean, you know. See, when the instruction does not match these pictures, the instruction is wrong, not these players that you're watching on television. The theories are wrong, not these people. I want you to notice it's a little more visible with the tall guy in color than it is with the shorter player that's in black and white. Notice the entire upper body is way behind the ball. You see it? So when you get 19 out of 20 golf magicians telling you to get over to your left side right away, that's wrong. You with me? The only thing that's over on the left side is the lower body. The entire upper body is going to stay behind the ball for as long as possible, not the other way around. Okay? This is what the ankle looks like before we hit the ball. You see this ankle in the right wrist is cocked back. You see the right wrist is cocked back. You're not doing that right now. Next time I see you, when I video your swings, you're gonna see when you make a full swing and your hands are down here, you got a big mess. Okay? Now I'm gonna ask you, how many golf gadgets and contraptions have ever been invented to get us to improve? Why do they make golf gadgets for golfers? What's the reason? Oh yeah, we buy them. You can hold it for a minute. You know why golfers love golf gadgets? Because the message is, I can improve my game and I want to, right? That's the lure. Now here comes the hook. I don't have to do anything. The only requirement is money, and I got that covered. Wait a minute. You might remember a while back, it was early 90s or somewhere in there. Greg Norman, remember him? He was the best player in the world. He and Fall go back and forth. And Greg Norman got on TV with a gadget called The Secret. Anybody remember that one?
Yeah.
It went on your arm and cocked your wrist back, because he showed all the good players on TV, on his TV program, that all good players had that angle, like that picture. And all of us didn't. So the idea was, you put this thing on your arm and you'll be fine. But when everybody went out and played golf, and they were not in the posture, and they were not a leg player, which is what you have to do it, the arms went first, crash, bang, the ankles broke. 2 years of selling that on television, what do you suppose Greg Norman was stuck with after 2 years?
Millions of
A
dollars.
bundle. Does anybody know what he did with all the money? Does anybody know what he did with it? He kept it. I did not find it unusual he kept the money. What was unusual was all the golfers that had that thing, nobody was angry, huh? No class action suit, no attorneys. We don't mind it doesn't work. Just make us something else. And we don't care what it is, as long as we don't have to do anything. I did not find it unusual that he kept the money. You know the lady I gave $200 for the golf lesson? Guess what? She kept the money. Do you know you're $14 coming in here today? Guess what? I'm keeping it. You know why? I asked if you'd help me a little. Not a lot, a little. It cost you $14 to come today. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate you coming. Guess what it cost me to come today? You know the Boston Herald and the Globe, you know, your invitations I sent out. And then this place, for me to do this session, this one runs me just right around $750. So it kind of helps when I'm full. That's okay. I just won't eat this week. I'm going to put this behind us too, just in case. How many of us have ever heard of a fellow named Calloway? You ever hear of him? Sure, Mr. Calloway. He died a few years a while back. Anyway, he's a marvelous man, marvelous story. I didn't know him personally, but I love his story. I want to try to be like him. I don't care about their golf equipment. They make nice golf equipment. I make nice golf instruction. It was him. Does anybody know how old he was when he started the company Callaway Golf? 70. That's when he started working it. He bought the rights to a company called Hickory Stick or Shaft or whatever it was when he was in his mid-60s, but he actually didn't start working the business for a little bit past that. He was getting ready to retire from squishing grapes. Temecula, California, and he looked across America and he asked, hey, they're building a lot of new golf courses. Don't they have enough golf? Oh, Mr. Calloway, 20 million people are playing right now. It's going up to 50. He said 50 million people are going to play the game of golf, so that means right now 30 million of them have no golf club. He asked how many clubs they shove in one of those bags they lug around. He said, well, I want to know something. There's 20 million playing now. A lot of them are men. And I want to know something about the male golfer and the male ego. Which club do the